All right, today I'm going to start with a limited color palette of greens and blues. Might throw a few other things in there, yellows. And then I'm going to show you how I mix neutrals for the background. In previous videos, a lot of times I use this Celadon, Blick Celadon. I love this kind of dirty green. And a lot of times I'll use that, but today I'm going to show you how I can mix my own neutrals. So if you don't have Celadon, you can mix a neutral to go in your background, which I think makes whatever we draw pop out. So I've set up my grid. I've shown this before, but I just did a simple cardboard. You can use it side of a cereal box. That's about how this feels. And I did a 3x3 square, some 2x2 squares, and today I'm doing 6 3x3s, but I vary it. So yeah, I've laid out all of my supplies, and this is a good chance for you to go through and just, what supplies do you have? I'm going to throw a bunch of stuff on this today to show you. It's just so much fun, and a lot of it will get covered up, but it's just fun to start this way. So I'm going to start like I do with a little bit of a pencil scribble just to get something in each one. I'm not trying to even stay in the boxes, just quick. And then I'm going to take a yellow China marker. I love when yellow shows up at the end, bits and pieces of it. So I'm going to throw some of that on just here and there. I've got a blue China marker. Like I said, I'm going to try to stay in the blues and green range and then do a neutral background. So I'm just going to throw some of this blue on. And I have laid out a bunch of stuff. So I'll start with the gelatos. I've got a little bowl of gelatos. I'm going to throw some of this yellow on. Right now, I'm mostly staying with my drying supplies, and then I'll move to my wet. Let's do a little bit of green. I've got a green one here. I don't have this planned out, except for I've kind of picked out that I was going to stay in blues and greens, but see, I'm just adding just a little bit of this. Let's do one more. Here's another green. This is a kind of a yellowy green. I don't know how this will turn out, but it's fun to just use all of my supplies and just see what I get. Okay, so that was gelatos. Now let's do some watercolor pencil. I haven't used these a lot before, but this is a Derwent watercolor set I've got. So, and when we activate these, that'll be interesting. So I'm just going to throw some in if I can get it. Let's see, I might need to sharpen it. Doesn't seem to want to. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm just going to throw some watercolor pencil in. That's a blue. Let's pick out a green. Put it here and there on the top here. I'll put it right in the middle there. I'll do a circle there. There. That's some watercolor pencil. Here's some oil pastels. I've got a bowl of oil pastels. And let's see, I'm going to pick this yellow. Ooh, that's pretty. That's kind of a ochre yellow. Just throwing it in. You can see this is just a throw everything on. Here's a green. Let's try some of this. It's just so much fun to just, you can tell I'm not thinking, I'm just throwing stuff on there. So that was oil pastels. Now I've got some Derwent ink tints. These are water soluble, and when you activate them, they have really intense color, and we'll probably see that when we end up wetting this. Put some yellow and some greens. Let me grab a blue. Here's another green, and here's kind of a teal. This is a lot of supplies. But it's so much fun, like I said, to get your supplies out and just throw them on. Okay, I'm going to do one more dry, and this is a Neo Color 2 crayon. These are also water soluble, so when I wet this, that should show through. All right, that's a nice big mess. Now I'm going to do some wet ingredients. I think I'll try, I've got these inks. These are Distress Spray inks from Jim Holtz. I love these. So now when I put this wet on, I'm just going to put a little bit on, just like this. Just there, maybe there. I'll do a swirl. You can spray these, but I'm just using the little dipper, the little thing that goes in there to just throw some. All right, we got some of that on there. Here I've got a blue one. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot left, but ooh, that's an intense blue. I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on. Oh, when I mix it with the yellow, look, that makes a really pretty green. So not a whole lot in here. I need to get some more of that, but it's kind of mixing all over the place, and that's okay. All right, I got a little of that in there, and I think I'll add one more thing. I've got these pastels. They'll probably completely get covered up, but it's still fun to throw them in here. Let's just throw some of this in. This is, again, this is just a chance to get all of your supplies out. Crayons, if you just have regular crayons, just anything you have, it's just fun to see what it does when you layer it up. And I'm going to put, let's see here. I think I'm going to do a thin, oh, I found these paints the other day. I was actually at a Walmart. These are Waverly chalk paints, and I thought they were so pretty. The name of this one is Scallion. I love the name. And chalk paints are very matte. This is a beautiful color. Like I said, it's a scallion. And I'm just going to start throwing a little bit of wet in here. And when I do this, it will activate some of the stuff that's underneath of it. Just putting it in different spots. Okay. Another one is, this one was called Celery. It's kind of a greeny gray. I thought these were the prettiest colors, so I bought them and I loved them when I played with them a little bit. But that's kind of a green gray. I'm just going to throw it here and there. Just a little bit. All right, so that's a few wet supplies. And I love this golden green gold. Kind of going, as you can tell, with greens. And a little bit of blue, but this green gold is intense. So I'm just going to throw a little bit in each one. And I'm putting a real thin layer, so it should all dry fairly quickly. All right, I like all of that. Now I could go in a lot of different directions. Landscape, that's already looking kind of landscapey. But the next thing I'm going to do, and I haven't done this before, is a stamp on here. And this is just, it's got some writing on it, some like, it looks like cursive writing. And I've got a archival black stamp pad, and I'm going to grab some, and just like everything else, I'm just going to plop a little bit on. I think that looks so cool when you have a little bit of this old-timey writing. I'm doing it in different directions. I won't put it all over on all of them, but this is just another supply that it's fun to just stamp a little bit in there. It just gives it kind of an old world feeling. It's you can find those all over the place. So that's a little bit of archival black ink in just that. So now I have to decide what I'm going to draw in here. And this week I've been practicing a lot. I've just been sketching. Well, I've been sketching a lot of things, but I think I'm going to go with teapots. I've got a lot of simple shapes. I've looked at pictures, I've looked at magazines, and I'm going to use my Stabilo to draw these in my matte medium to activate them. I'm going to go very quickly, and then I'm going to make a neutral. I'm going to make my own neutral and do the background. So these everything I've got here will actually be the teapot. And I'm going to go ahead and do a pretty good size. Let's see here. I think I'll do one right here. And they're going to be a little bit wonky. I'm not trying to, I'll do a top here. I'll do like do a little spout. And I'll do a handle. So just a very simple, set a little wonky. I'm going to put a shadow and a little shadow out like that. Just fun, something fun to draw, something quick. All right, I think on this one, I'll do a little cup and very simple teapot. I'm just going to do so I'm trying to go quick on these. A very simple shape. Put a little handle up here, and I'll do a little spout right there. Okay. You'll be able to see these more when I activate them. But again, I'm trying to keep it simple. Let's see, let's do, I'll do a little lid. I'm going to do kind of a big square teapot. Put a handle on it. Like I said, I'm doing 6 of these, so I have to draw quickly and I have to have simple shapes. Let's see, this one right here. I'll do a little handle, more of a round one. Put a little handle there and make a cup right there. All right, and let's do here. This is one of those that comes out like this. It's got kind of a fancier handle and a little spout. All right, and one more quickly. This will just be I can almost see it right there. So I'll just go with that. I'll do a little top. Make that. Do a little handle. Spout. And maybe I'll do a cup and a saucer. Okay, let's see how they go. I did them really quick. Like I said, I had sketched a bunch of them, so I'd kind of gotten the rhythm of just a very wonky teapot. And now I'm going to activate them with matte medium. What that does is it not only activates the Stabilo, it kind of seals it in a little bit so it doesn't move. It seals it so it doesn't move as much when I hit it with other stuff or when I seal it. I mean, when I varnish it. I'm trying to talk and think and paint, and sometimes that's a challenge. But anyway, so you can see them. You can see them popping out when I activate it. once I do a neutral background, I think they're really going to pop out a lot more. So what I'm going to do now, like I said, I could use my, I could easily use the Celadon that I love from Blick. It's a neutral, and if I put that on here right now, it would pop them. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my own neutral, just in case you don't have Celadon. Other thing I want to do, I want to put a little table behind each one, like these are sitting on a table. And I'll do a neutral background. Let's see here. Just, and that'll get activated. Okay, to mix a neutral, you just do opposites on the color wheel. So I'm going to take this green, and the opposite on the color wheel would be purple. So I'm going to grab a purple. All right, I'm going to grab a purple. I'm going to mix green and purple and white. And I may throw a touch of raw sienna in it. Raw sienna is great, or any of the browns, raw umber. If you mix a color and it gets garish, like super bright, if you put a drop of raw sienna or raw umber or burnt sienna, it will tone it down. So I'm going to mix a little green gold. This is just a random purple I grabbed. Purple Iris. It's not an expensive paint. That's the other thing with these. I love using, I've got not really good paints, you know, that are $12 a bottle. But I love using up, well, like this gold is expensive. But that's okay. I like using my craft paints too on these grids because it uses them up and I can just play with them and I'm not precious about it. If you're working with a $12 bottle of paint, you might be like, ooh. Okay, so I mix that green gold, that purple iris, and some gesso. I've got a little bottle of gesso here. Let's see what this looks like. So this is a neutral. Okay, see, isn't that gorgeous? It actually looks a lot like the Celadon. But you can practice with mixing neutrals. They really make whatever you've thrown together pop out. So I'm just going to quickly paint around it. I'm dib-dib-dabbing. I'm not I'm not trying to paint it like a wall. I'm just throwing it on back here. And look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I know, it's funny that sometimes one of the comments was funny. It said, I love when you say that you love something or something's gorgeous, but okay, I could leave the bottom like this. I think that's kind of cool, the bottom already. Let's just leave that one like it is. It's it's kind of random. I could put a little more Stabilo right there and activate it just to throw a little bit of light in here just to round that out. And throw that in here and there. Okay, I like that one there. I think I'm going to leave the bottom of that. I don't know, might come back to that one, but let's move on. Okay, so that was a neutral that I mixed. Let's try another one. I'm going to take, let's take this, the Waverly green that we had, and mix, we could do a purple or a pink. They're kind of across the color wheel. So I'm going to grab a pink. So that's this Waverly Green, and I grabbed a Baby Pink by Americana. Let's see what we get with this one. This is fun. I did this all week, played with neutrals. So I'm going to take the Waverly Green, and I'm going to mix a little bit of pink in it. And then I'm going to get my gesso. What that does, it makes it opaque. Get some more of that. All right, let's see what we get here. This is okay, see, that's a lighter beigey neutral, but that is pretty, and it will, when I cover, when I go around what I've already done, it'll, you know, if I thin it down, it'll show some of it through. But I'm going to just quickly throw it on there. And then I might take some of my other color. Ooh, but I love that bottom. See, I love, maybe if we just touch here and there with this. All right, I like that. I just touched a little bit with this neutral so that I had a little bit of a different background, but very quickly just threw that in, and I love that. It's just a very abstract teapot. It's neutral. I think I'm going to throw a little bit of this green right down here. That's a green I already have in here. Kind of separates that out. And okay, this one. Ooh, that's pretty though. I love it like it is already. I mean, I could actually just leave it just like that, but I want to make that stand out a little bit more. And I like this gray, so I might just take this, this is that Waverly Celery, and there's parts of that I love, but let's just take a little bit of that. I see it right there. And carve out just a little. I'm putting on a thin coat. I love that. I'm going to just touch it right there. I love the writing right there. I think I'll leave that, and I think I will carve out. I'm going to leave that yellow. I don't know. I think I like that right there. Leave that writing up there. Just each one, you know, decide in the moment. I've got this Blick paint that I bought. It's an off-white. It's a nice neutral. I love the bottom here, but let's just, for the fun of it, knock the bottom. I'm going to leave a little shadow there. Ooh. Okay, I love that one. That's my favorite so far. It shows up. It's very neutral. Left the writing. I'll knock. You know, I could keep going and let this dry and then add a little bit more white if I wanted to knock a little bit more of the bottom out. But I love that right there. So I'm going to stop on that one. I'm going to hit this one again with my Stabilo. I want to make that a little darker, and I'll take a little bit more of this green. Maybe this golden green. This golden green is such an intense color. Let's throw that down there. You know, the more expensive paints are more pigmented. And so you just play with them to... Okay, I'm liking that better. Let's hit the outside of the pot a little bit. And then I'll touch it with some wet. Yeah, I like that. Okay, now we're to this one. Let's see here. Very quickly, let's just use white, a thin layer of white. I'm going to put just a little bit of one of the neutrals in, and let's see what it does if we really go light with the background. This is what's so fun. You can just do tons of these. I must have done 100 teapots this week, just playing with different colors, different shapes, simple teapot shapes. Okay, I love that, and I'm going to leave the background like it is. I like the white, really made it pop out. And let's see, where's the spout on this one? Let's see, we got this. Let's do a spout right here. I don't think we put one on this one. Okay. And I'm gonna take a blue. I have a dark blue that is the same color as that ink. And across from the color wheel, blue is orange. So again, I'm going to take a little bit of blue. This is an intense blick, dark blue. And this orange is Americana spiced pumpkin. I'm going to mix those, and then I'm going to put I've got a white here. It's a Craft Smart. It's called Fog Gray. I use that as a white often also. But I'm going to mix that. Ooh, that's pretty. I think I'm going to put some gesso in it. I'm going to put a tiny bit more blue. I want it leaning. Ooh, that went real blue. So I'm going to add some more white. I'm trying to make a neutral. Okay. This is the color I want. It's, I just played around, you saw how fast I plopped stuff in there. But I think this is just another neutral using the same colors that I've already used, but I'm just plopping these in here, just right around where, when you just dib dab them like this, some of the other stuff, see that green showing through? There's the spout. Ooh, that's pretty. All right, I think I'll take the light color, the light neutral, and just hit the bottom just for something different than the others. I could have left that bottom. I liked it a lot, but I just want to see what this does. Yeah, that's pretty. And the teapot. The other thing you could do is paint the teapot and leave your background. So if I wanted to, say, knock this out a little bit there, maybe a little bit there, maybe knock that the darkest blue out. I just did it with and then I'll take this that color we just mixed for this background. Let's just hit the teapot. See what that does. You can go back and forth. All right, I want a little bit darker for this side of it. Just kind of, let's play with like we're doing a shadow. And then we'll blend it just a little bit. I'm going to add a quick handle here. Just very quickly. So here I've painted the teapot, which is, I didn't do that on the rest of these, but you can see that looks really cool. Oh, I got a little cup down here. That's what this is. I was wondering what that was. Okay, let's take one of the light neutrals that I mixed and carve around this teacup. Actually, I think I'll just knock the little plate I drew and just leave the cup. And just, I'm going to leave a little bit of this for shadow. I might grab my Stabilo and ground that pot, put a little bit of shadow, ground the cup. You can barely see, you can barely see the cup, but I love that. It's just very subtle. Just going to hit down here. I'll take a little bit more of this blue and hit the handle. Hit that little thing. All right, there. I love these. They're very abstract. I could play with them some more. I could definitely do a lot more to them. I could, put designs on the pots if I wanted to put like a, a leaf pattern, or cover more of the background, or paint the pots. But I love these. I think they're very abstract. Again, we threw a ton of supplies on there, and I did some stamping, did a very quick drawing of these wonky teapots, made my own neutrals to add to the backgrounds or either to the pots, which make the other colors really sing. And I love these, so I hope you enjoyed it, and leave me a comment or any questions, and thank you for watching.